Hello dear student, myself Digant Sakhiwala, I am your science sir. Today we will continue chapter number 1, matter in surrounding. Dear student, last time we learned about physical nature of the matter. Matter is available in solid, liquid and gas. Chemical nature of the matter in that it available in element, compound and mixture. Today we will check about some characteristic of solid, liquid and gas. We will learn about intermolecular force and we will learn about the diffusion. Okay. Characteristic of particle of matter. Particle of the matter have space between them. Okay. So matter is available in solid. In solid there is a very small spaces are there because all the molecules are tied together. Intermolecular force is more, distance is less. Okay. So they are available, solids are available in rigid form. They have not property of flow because all the molecules are very tightly packed. Okay. In liquid, intermolecular force is less, the distance between two molecules is more, and because of that reason they have property of fluidity, so they can flow. Okay. In gaseous compound, intermolecular force is minimum, negligible, so all the molecules they have the more and more distance and they create the pressure on the wall. Okay. When a lit incense stick kept in the corner, it has not that much smell. Light incense stick has a smell. So dear student, we know about the incense stick. When we will not light it, at that time it has not smell. But when we light it, then what happen? We feel the smell from the long distance. What is the reason? Reason is that whatever the smell is produced by lighting it, okay, it will going from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. Means where we light it, there the concentration of smell is more and it moves towards the higher concentration to lower concentration. Or we can say that in the gaseous compound we cannot use the concentration word, we have to use the pressure word, pressure. So it will move from higher pressure to the lower pressure, and because of that reason from the long distance also we can smell the smell of incense stick. When ink drop put in the water, slowly it disperses, but honey drop put into water, it will not disperse because density of honey is more. Okay, density of honey is more. Now dear student, we have to understand what is called density. Density means unit mass in the unit volume. Okay, so when we pour the water, it easily pour or it easily move in the different direction, but when we pour or when we drop the honey, it has a density more, and because of that reason it flows slowly. Okay, so when we drop the ink drops into water, it slowly disperses. Okay, slowly disperse means we already know that water molecule in that gaps are there between each water molecule, there is a gap are there, so slowly ink occupy the position between the vacant gap in the water, whereas honey has high density. So whenever we dropped into the water, then what happen, it will not easily disperse, we have to stir it. Okay, after that it will disperse. CuSO4 copper sulfate, or it is called blue vitriol, or KMnO4 potassium permanganate, kept in hot water, it disperses fast, but in cold water it disperses slowly. Okay, it disperses here slowly. So we have two experiments. In that first experiment, in that we take hot water, and another beaker we take the cold water. Whenever we put copper sulfate or blue vitriol into the cold water, then what happen, it will not disperse fast because kinetic energy of water is less. Okay, cold water has kinetic energy less, and steam of the water, when we convert the water into the steam, then it has the highest kinetic energy. So whenever we use hot water, in that whenever we put KMnO4 or copper sulfate, then what happens, it disperses fast. So after some time we find that in cold water generally not colorize fast because of KMnO4 and CuSO4, but hot water colorize fast because of what? Fast dispersal in the hot water, kinetic energy is more. Particles of matter are continuously moving because they possess kinetic energy. Okay, so particles are having more energy if the kinetic energy are more. So solid, in that kinetic energy is less, potential energy is more. But whenever we convert the liquid into gaseous compound, at that time the kinetic energy is increases and potential energy is what? Decreases. And in gaseous compound, kinetic energy is maximum and the potential energy is negligible. Now what is potential energy? Potential energy means the energy related with the object which is in the rest condition. Okay. As temperature rises, particle move faster, so kinetic energy increases. So whenever we increase the temperature, then what happens? Reaction is become a faster. One simple example, suppose we take sugar and we try to dissolve in the water, it will dissolve, but whenever we add more quantity of sugar, it is not easily dissolved. Now you increase the temperature of water, you find that the sugar is easily dissolved in the water. Why? Because kinetic energy of water is increases, it allows sugar to dissolve into water. Diffusion. So whatever process occur here, that is called diffusion. When solute dissolve in the solvent, okay, it occupy the vacant place in the solvent, that is called the diffusion. Or we can say that when any liquid is going from higher concentration to the lower concentration, then we can say that diffusion. Or we can say that what is called diffusion, when any gaseous compound is moving from the higher pressure to the lower pressure, then we can say that it is a diffusion. Particle of matter intermix on their own with each other. They do so by getting into the space between the particle of two different type of matter on their own is called the diffusion. Simple thing is that solute occupy the position in the solvent where there is a vacant place or vacant space in the solvent, that is called the diffusion. When iron nail, a piece of chalk and rubber band, force is applied, chalk has maximum effect of force. It breaks down easily because intermolecular force is less. Okay, we can see that intermolecular force is less. So we apply the force on three things. One is iron nail, piece of chalk and rubber band, and we observe that on which the more effect are there, we apply the equal amount of force, okay, on them. So we find that chalk has the maximum of effect. It breaks down easily. Only reason is that intermolecular force is less. Whenever we apply the force on the rubber band, it has also effect, but it is less than the chalk because intermolecular force is more in the rubber band. Okay, whereas iron nail has what? Very small effect when we hammer it, when we apply the force on it, because in the nails intermolecular force is maximum than the rubber band and the chalk. From above activity, we come to know that intermolecular force play major role in the properties of matter. So from this all the activity, we come to know that intermolecular force play major role in the properties of matter. Solid in that intermolecular force is more, liquid in that intermolecular force is less compared to solid, and in the gaseous compound the intermolecular force is less than the solid and liquid. Distance between the intermolecular distance is less in the solid. Intermolecular distance is more in the liquid compared to solid, and intermolecular distance is more in gaseous compound compared to solid and liquid. So this is all about the today's topic. Thank you so much.